Sorry, I got a bit of a little cough cold here. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about confidence and how to read and find the time in putting scripture and reading the Bible and your books and everything else, and how I keep scripture on my mind and how I do it with my family. I made a video previously about how to pray for your children. Well, now I'm going to talk about how I study in my time. As you see, I'm wearing my work shirt. I'm here at work. I work a midnight shift. So in my free time and my downtime that I have, any time that I have downtime, I take the time to study. In any time, form, anything where I'm at, doesn't matter where I am going to study. And that's what the mindset that you need to have, is that you're going to study no matter where you are. So a couple things that I do when I read scriptures, or when right now I'm reading 2 Timothy 3:6, and I'm meditating on that. I'm actually reading a couple of things I read. In my last video, I told you guys about Derek Prince, this book. I read it, and then I go back on the scriptures, and I align it. You always align it with the Bible. You always align whatever you read from some other author, no matter who it is, who wrote it. You go back to Bible, and you read what they are saying, and you find truth in it. If it isn't truth, then you know that isn't for you. That isn't God. That isn't what He wants for you. So a couple things I do is you have your highlighters and a pen. So that's what I have. And I highlight. For instance, I saw Derek Prince here that I'm reading. So I have it on, I don't know if you guys can see just a little bit. I put the page number of Derek Prince, and then I put, what it's talking about and what what it is, and then I write, and then I read the commentary in the Bible of what it means if I don't understand it. So that's what I do. So a little bit things, and then 2 Timothy for 1. If you guys can see that just a little bit, I don't know, kind of a glare. I write it. I write it down on a postcard, write it down, write the scripture, and I post it somewhere. I post it in my room, I post it in the kitchen, I post it on the refrigerator, anywhere. And I read and meditate on that for the whole week, so that I know what it's talking about. And I pray about it, and I ask God, is this something I need to know? Is this something that needs to be kept? Which everything you need to keep. And then another thing that I'm reading is The Power of a Praying Wife. So this book has helped me tremendously as a wife, because as a wife we have many challenges. We have challenges with our husband, with our kids, with people, with mother-in-laws, father-in-laws, mothers, fathers, whoever you want, a sister, brothers. You have all these people who are in your life influencing you, and you need to stay on scripture. You need to stay on guard, because, there's many people who will betray to be your friends, or even your family will betray to be, friendly to you and love you. And the next thing you know, they're gossiping to another family about you. So you need to be on guard all the time and know how to pray and discern when things aren't right. So you have to stay in scripture, guys. So another thing I do is, it has a power tool, and it tells you each thing what you're reading. Prayer, you read prayer, and the tools and where you're going to find it. Well, I go back to my Bible again, and I find that scripture, and I read it, and I meditate it. And another thing I do with this book is I post it on my hands, guys. I know that sounds crazy, but I work 18 hours, 4 days a week, and 8 hours, 3 days a week. And I have 6 children. So, I have to fit all these things in there in the middle of fitnessing, exercising, and reading scripture and everything else. And you have to find the time in your life. As a mother, we are made strong people. We are made, God has made us to be very, very amazing. Like, I am so amazed how much a woman can endure. Like, that is amazing, how we can endure so much and still have that weight on our shoulders and still be like, oh, I got this. So another thing I do is I write this on my daily. I write a scripture on me. For this one, it's Psalm 7:7-8, and I read it. And let me just read it a little bit to you, 7:7-8, for you guys. I'll just read it off my hand. Show your merciless. You know what, guys? Look it up. I was going to read it to you guys, and you know what? Just look it up. Because, it's, you have to learn. You have to know how to do these things. You have to, God is so good. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is strength in my life. And whom shall I be afraid of? You need to know that. Who should you be afraid of? I'm afraid of the Lord. I love him. His graciousness comes at a cost. I don't think anything is free. He has given us salvation of his freedom, and he has given us life. But at the same time, we need to be humble and merciful and on our knees and praying to him, because he doesn't take it lightly. And just because his son died on that cross and already freed us, we need to know the cost of that and the price that we should know, guys. I'm sorry, I'm trying to say it the best I can, but I just wanted to share a little bit my main tips of how I do things and how I remember things. For one is the card, my hand. Make a little voice memo on your phones. Everyone carries a phone around these days. Have a reminder saying, hey, this scripture today. Have your voice play back to you in a voice recording. Remind me at 5 o'clock p.m. If you have an Apple, you can say, hey, remind me on my voice recording at 5 p.m. of this scripture. And then it can read your scripture back to you of your own voice. Or when you say a prayer and record it. And then go back and make a scheduled time of that prayer to record and pray back to yourself. That prayer, play back to yourself, so you know what you were praying for, why you were praying. Because let me tell you, you pray once and that's good and all, but if you want something in the Lord and you really know that you need that, for instance, let's say, like if you're struggling for a light bill and your faith is strong and the Lord provides, and all his word says, if you ask, you shall receive. And if it comes in line with God, which I believe that would come in line with God, I don't know. I'm not God, but it would be one thing that I would think would come in line with him. Pray for him every day. Pray 4 or 5 times, 6, 7, 8 times a day about that same prayer. Remind yourself, and have someone else come and pray with you, because it says if two people come together with the Lord, he shall answer, because two coming together. So guys, just be blessed and know who you are in the Lord, and don't give up. And another thing, guys, I forgot, I have another book. It always reminds me, never underestimate yourself, because as women, we underestimate ourselves of what we are capable to do. Let me tell you, we are capable of a lot. When we are put in a hot spot, we will learn how to get out of that spot, and we will keep moving forward. So this is another thing I do for Derek Prince, for instance. I was learning about sorceries in his book. So I read it and I write it down, and I learn from that. And this is just a little thing for me saying something to the Lord. But put it down. It talks about music and civilization. And again, another Timothy, read it. I need to read what Paul was saying. What did Paul say? Paul warned us that evil men and imposters will grow worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. We need to know that. What does the Greek word of translates for imposters mean? Literally means enchanters. You need to know what Greek words, you need to know what Latin words. You need to dig deeper into your prayer life and your study life and understand what you're doing. Guys, I have so much, guys. And I just want to encourage you guys to keep moving forward and keep doing the things that you need to do, and know that the Lord is with you. Because without him, there is nothing. Your life is empty. There is nothing without him. And I just want to encourage you guys with that right now, and just tell you guys, life isn't easy. Not for anyone, not for me. I'm going through a very hardship right now, a very difficult transgression in my life. And I stay positive. I still smile, and I say, Lord, I know you're going to find a way. You're going to find a way. And I'm going to find a way too. But I'm going to pray about it before I find that way. And if the move is ready to move, then the Lord will show me where to move. So be blessed, stay blessed. Trish here. I hope I gave you a little insight of how I do things and how you can do things. And that's with anything. With them little 4x7 cardboard, or I forgot what they're called, index cards. They work for everything. Put them around your house. Put prayer lives around your house. Declare war over your house with them. How I teach my kids how to, start learning a different language. Put it there. What does door mean, in Spanish?